You know that feeling, right? You walk away from a conversation and you just feel drained, like you were speaking a totally different language. Well, today we're going to flip that script. We're going to turn that frustration into a real, genuine connection. Let's get into how we can make communication our greatest strength without, losing ourselves in the process. Just let that sink in for a second. 16,000 words every single day. That's a whole lot of talking. But here's the real question. How many of those words are actually building bridges? And how many are maybe accidentally building walls? Way too often, we find ourselves talking at people instead of with them. So that's what we're going to tackle today. We're going to make those words count. So where does it all go wrong? Honestly, it's usually not about bad intentions. Most of us aren't trying to misunderstand each other. The real problem? It's a few common, almost invisible habits that we all fall into. Let's break down these communication traps. I'm willing to bet this cycle looks kind of familiar. It kicks off with reactive speaking, right? Something triggers us and we just blurt something out to react, not really to connect. Then that leads to a fear of judgment. We worry what they'll think, so we start over-explaining everything, which just waters down our message. From there, it's a short jump to people-pleasing. It feels safer in the moment, but over time, it just chips away at trust. And all of this leads to the big one, conflict avoidance, where we sidestep the real issue, which of course just starts the whole frustrating cycle all over again. So how in the world do we break out of that loop? Well, the answer isn't about learning some clever lines or magic words. It's deeper than that. It's a fundamental shift in our entire mindset. Before we can change how we talk, we've got to get clear on why we're talking in the first place. And this really gets to the heart of it. See, real connection isn't built on scripts or techniques. It's built on principles. When our communication is grounded in authenticity, guided by our integrity, and delivered with a sort of calm certainty, well, the how, the actual words we end up using, starts to take care of itself. First up, authenticity. This is the bedrock. When people get a sense that you're being real, that your words actually line up with who you are, they instinctively lower their guard. Without this, everything else we do can feel like an act, like we're just performing. Next, let's talk about calm certainty. Now, this isn't about being the loudest person in the room or being aggressive. Not at all. It's that quiet confidence that comes from just knowing your own mind. When you speak from that place, people listen in a different way. Your words suddenly have more weight, and you earn respect without ever having to ask for it. And the third pillar here is integrity. All this really means is that your words are reliable. People learn over time that what you say lines up with what you do. It's that predictability that makes you trustworthy. It's what makes your word actually mean something. Okay, so with that foundation of trust in place, let's get super practical. We're going to walk through a clear 6-step framework you can literally use in any conversation, whether it's a quick check-in with a coworker or a really tough conversation you need to have at home. Here's our roadmap. We'll start with setting our intent before we even speak. Then we'll move to the clarity framework and the integrity filter. After that, we'll focus on building connection, learning how to handle conflict without causing damage, and we'll wrap it up by mastering a few really powerful, high-value statements. Step 1 is so simple, but it is a total game changer. It's all about the pause. Before a single word comes out of your mouth, you just ask yourself, wait, what's my real goal here? Am I actually trying to connect? Am I trying to clarify something? Am I trying to ask for something? Or am I just trying to correct them? Just knowing your true intention shapes your tone, your words, everything. All right, step 2 is all about clarity. And remember this, clarity is kindness. It really is. So 3 simple rules here. First, say less, but make it clearer. Precision is your best friend. Second, stick to one single message at a time. Don't throw 5 things at someone at once. And third, and this is a big one, lead with the facts first, then talk about emotions after. That structure makes it so much easier for the other person to actually hear you. Now for step 3, the integrity filter. Think of this as a little 3-question checkpoint for your words before they go out into the world. And the first, most important question is this true? Not, is it kind of true? Or is it what they want to hear? Is it factually, genuinely true? Your credibility literally starts and ends with this question. The second question in our filter challenges us to add value, not just noise. You got to ask yourself, is this necessary? Is what I'm about to say actually going to move this conversation forward, or am I just talking to fill the silence? Sometimes the most powerful and respectful thing you can say is nothing at all. And the final check, is this respectful? And remember, This is a two-way street. The message has to be respectful to the person you're talking to, of course, but it also has to be respectful to you and your own values. This little question protects the relationship on both sides. Step 4, the connection builder, is where we flip the script. We stop thinking about broadcasting and start focusing on receiving. First, listen. I mean, really listen. To understand, not just to think of your reply. Second, show them you heard them by reflecting back what you understood. Something simple like, so what I'm hearing is... Third, ask just one clarifying question to go a little deeper. And finally, acknowledge their emotions. You don't have to agree with how they feel to validate that they're feeling it. Okay, let's talk about the tough stuff. Conflict. It's gonna happen. But here's the thing. Conflict isn't the problem. The damage that comes from conflict is the problem. The key to getting through a disagreement without blowing things up is to manage your own emotional state. If they raise their voice, you keep yours steady. By refusing to match their intensity, you control the temperature of the conversation and keep the relationship safe. And finally, step 6, high-value statements. These are simple phrases that pack a huge punch. The first one is, I hear you. Now, what's so important is that this does not mean I agree with you. It just means I'm acknowledging your reality. It is one of the most powerful disarming phrases you can ever use. Now, once you've shown them they've been heard, you can state your own view without picking a fight. Saying, my perspective is different is so neutral. It's not confrontational. It just creates space for two different truths to exist at the same time, which is totally okay. Oh, and this last one, it's a masterclass in setting boundaries while still being helpful. Instead of focusing on what you can't or won't do, saying, here's what I can do, immediately pivots the conversation towards solutions. It's clear, it's collaborative, and it's incredibly empowering for everyone. Look, this framework is incredibly powerful, but knowledge isn't much use if we don't put it into action, right? So let's make this real. Here's a super simple 30-day action plan to turn these ideas into actual habits. And just look at how doable this is. Every day, just focus on 2 things. Practice that pause before you reply and try to use one high-value statement. Once a week, do a little clarity drill. Practice making a point as clearly and concisely as you can. Once a month, be brave and tackle one of those important, honest conversations you've been putting off. And maybe the most important part, track your wins. Writing down when it goes right is what builds the momentum to keep going. So as we wrap this up, just remember that all of this is a toolkit, and it's just sitting here waiting for you to use it. Think about one conversation that really matters to you right now. Maybe it's with a colleague, your partner, a friend. With this new framework in your back pocket, I'll leave you with just one final question to think about. What important conversation will you have first?
Find your true identity.
Lead your life with intention.